It was 2 years ago when Raj Kamble called it quits at BBH and decided to bring Strawberry Frog to India. And it was in April of this year when Raj took over the entire operation and transformed it into an independent entity called Famous Innovations. Post that, Kamble's agency has been making waves in the advertising and marketing circuit and is most definitely a part of the independent creative hotshots to watch out for. Brand Equity paid a visit to Famous Innovations to find out what's been ticking at the agency.
They've won 9 out of 11 business pitches in the last 2 years. They currently have 12 clients in their roster, including the likes of Mahindra, Titan, Raymond and Lakme. And they've recently bagged the Wildcraft account that's been pegged at approximately 3 crore rupees. It's no wonder then that Raj Kamble's Famous Innovations is being looked at as the dark horse in the advertising world.
Famous was always an agency in a mind. There was a different name earlier called Strawberry Frog. So Strawberry Frog, I own it majority. And always have, when I start Strawberry Frog, I realize the client in India specifically, they look at the relationship. So finally your work decide, your work defined you, not the name. There's so many international names in our country and I thought the work who defined them more than a name. So one day I decided, why can't we create our own legacy? We can have our own name. And it's such a good time, like Scott Goodson has a book called How to Start a Successful Ad Agency. And I think lots of things he was saying it, I also believe in that. And I say, Scott, one day, what do you think about doing my own? And Scott absolutely okay with it. And I think we bought the Strawberry Frog in India, that Indian company, and I changed the name. So it's exactly same agency, same client, same culture. But we changed it in a few things. It's a much more like innovation is our DNA.
The latest piece of work to come out of Famous's stable is this piece for Raymond. Which has been creating waves, showing a new side to the Complete Man campaign. The ad is seen as the evolution of Raymond's iconic Complete Man ads and ends with a new tagline stating, "Many things make a complete man. Being there is one of them."
Many things make the complete man. Being there is just one of them. Raymond, the complete man.
I think what agency really put forth was the definition of complete man in the current socio-cultural context. I think that was the first strategic contribution by the agency. And the second one was to continuing to stay to the core and have multiple ideas which are relevant for today's complete man. So Being There campaign or the one which is Letting Go, which is the other rendition of our Complete Man campaign, and so on and so forth. There were actually over a dozen options that we had to evaluate from, and eventually we picked up the top 2 and 3 and then went ahead for production. So what Famous Innovations brought in was not just a creative output, but actually even a strategic way forward for the brand.
Raj has obviously been very, very hands-on as far as this campaign goes. And it's not just Raj, but Arun and a few other very senior members of the Famous team who worked with us on this project. But then there are other reasons as well. We wanted an agency that would bring in a completely different approach to the whole the challenge of launching the Rice Prize. The Rice Prize itself is a very different kind of a program. So we wanted an agency that would really bring in some amount of, a fair degree of out-of-the-box thinking.
Working 9 to 5. But first 5 to 9. Putting in a few hours more for a few seconds less.
The campaign created for Titan was based on the insight that in today's hectic day and age, the most inspired individuals have created a 25th hour.
That time between dreaming.
For Titan, the campaign was the perfect fit for the brand, as the TG they're looking at is the 25th hour kind of guy.
And the 25th hour is made. There are few who know better.
Never let me go.
And then as we went through the process of the pitch and the the review of the various pitches, we clearly found that the creativity that Famous was bringing to the table was at a much higher level than what we were getting from the others, as well as the fact that the kind of insights they brought to the table were quite meaningful to the whole process. But finally, I think the most important thing we found was there was a lot of hunger with the team there. And that kind of, and for a brand like Titan, and for a brand like Xylus, sorry, and for a company like Titan, those are the kind of things that appeal to us about people. And as it turns out, the process in the interaction of the last 1 year, we've been truly, the whole thing has been truly justified, as you know, from the campaign itself. So we certainly want to build on that, and as you know, Titan, the company, has a lot of brands in its portfolio, and we certainly see that going forward, as we work through our business plans, etc., there could be potential to work even more closely with Famous on a few other pieces.
In terms of expansion, the agency has just about opened its Bangalore office. The next plan is to take the agency global and open up an office in New York. The aim is to keep this creative hotshop small and not exceed its employee strength to more than 75 employees in its Mumbai headquarters. With more and more clients looking to experiment with independent agencies, the JWTs, Ogilvies and Lowe's of the world better watch out.
Watch out indeed, as this silent killer is slowly but steadily wooing and winning a lot of clients.